Good evening, everybody. So, uh, 9 speakers. I think I'm humbled to have listened to so many of those people. It could be Aditya, Mr. Ravi Shankar. I would have preferred Ravi Shankar's mother on stage also, because I think that would have been a fantastic journey together. Okay. Siddharth and Rohini. What inspiration. I take a lot of inspiration from this. And I don't know whether what I'm going to talk today is not going to be as significant as a Swachh Bharat or a Chocopreneur or whatever. I'm trying to do something very different, a very different thought process altogether. And let's see whether we pick up the strings. It's been a 10-year journey, and I must say that at this stage I must thank TED, primarily because TED is what has made my life. A couple of years back, I became blind. I woke up to blindness, okay? I didn't know what to do. I'm an avid cricket lover. I used to watch cricket like crazy. Even if it was a match between Assam and Darjeeling, I would be watching it. Yeah. If there were 3 sticks pitched, I would sit and watch it. Whoever it is, whatever it is, I care a damn about cricket. That's what the kind of passion I have for cricket. I have a lot of inspiration from cricket from people like Harsha Bhogle or Sachin Tendulkar or Rahul Dravid, because I worked with these kind of people. I used to work with Rahul Dravid as he was my brand ambassador for Castrol. I kicked off my job at 45. I had the privilege of kicking my job, not throwing my job. I kicked it off. I started on my own, and I became an entrepreneur at 45. Probably 20 years late. I didn't have probably the courage like Aditya to start off at 17. Yeah? Yeah, probably if I had started at 17, I would have ruled the world of music. I don't know. Okay. So one fine day, I woke up to blindness. I didn't know what to do. Imagine a person so passionate about cricket had to listen to cricket. So I listened to IPL and I didn't watch IPL. I didn't know what to do. And that's the time I started listening to a lot of TED speeches. Because there are only 2 things you could do when you were blind. One, you could listen, and the second one, you could speak. So I started speaking. So when I started speaking, I said, what do I speak? Because I can't read. So I wrote all what I did in my 30 years of corporate experience, and I converted it into a marketing course. And unqualified and not qualified, I would be the least qualified, probably the least qualified faculty across the country, a commerce graduate teaching management students. Because I learned it from the ground. I worked 30 years on corporate life. I traveled across the country, and that's where I learned. So when I did this exercise, what happened was my communication became better. So that's where it started. And now, of course, I have gained a little amount of eyesight, and thanks to Shankar Netralaya that I'm able to speak in front of you, and I see some good-looking people and, better-looking people than me. Yeah? Now, if you look at this slide, it very clearly says, I listen to classical music. No, I'm not old. And that's a cliche. Because it's not fashionable to know classical music. That's where I started my journey. I learned classical music. I learned music. I used to be a singer. I used to do voiceovers, jingles in my career. But I didn't know music as much as what I should know. Because I learned very little, but it was just by hearing that I was performing. And there are n number of people like that. I said, why not I work in that space? And that's my journey for the last 10 years, where I've done huge amount of research in the area of music, and this is the process. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to play a small sound for you. And I want you to close your eyes. I'll prove to you that sound can also give you silence. Yeah? Can you play the sound, please? Thank you. Now, if you look at the sound, how was it actually? Did it take you to silence? And that's precisely what it does. Because these are the body frequencies that I'm playing. I play an instrument called tanpura, which plays on 4 strings, pa, sa, and sa. It's a physical frequency. And these are governed by our body. And all of us have these frequencies in our body. And I'm starting this presentation with a premise, with a single line saying that everybody in the world is born to sing. Everybody is born to sing. Right? That's the premise with which I'm starting this presentation. Okay, let me ask you a question. What does music do to you? Doctor, what does music do to you? What does music do to anybody? Makes you happy? Relax? Excitement? Calms you down? Changes your mood? Huh? Feelings? Okay? All this it does, right? How many of you know what music is? How many of you, all of you like music, love music, you're passionate about music. You say music does everything to you. Do you know music? Do you understand music? What would happen if you understand it? Am I opening you up? That's my project. That's my project. Now, don't feel bad that you don't know music. 99% of people in India don't know music. We listen to music without understanding music. There's only 1% or less than 1% which is somebody like us who are actively listening to music. Because when I listen to music, I understand what is being done by the artist. And that's the level at which we are taking to. Now, why are we doing this is, can I move music from a washroom to a living room? Because if I ask somebody, they all danced here. Can I ask somebody to come here and sing? How many of you can sing here? Nobody will put up their hands. Now, even if they put up their hand, I say, can you come and sing? He'll say, sorry sir, my voice is bad. I have not done it. Wednesdays I don't sing. Fridays I don't sing. Some reason. Right? Why? Because music is not an art form, in my opinion. Music is a language. Music is a body communication. It's about self-confidence. Right? Do you think anybody can come and speak on a stage? No, you might have enough amount of content to speak, but you need courage to speak. So music is like that. Music is a language, it's a body language. When I say sa, sa, my hand is singing, not my throat. Because my throat is following my hand. Now that's what music is about. So it's in your body. And how do you express that is what music is about. Now this is the current music scenario. What is a music scenario in India today? What is that we are looking at? If you look at the beginner, they say it's boring. Why? Because the parents push the children into music. Why? I have not learnt music, so you learn music. I wanted to do in life, I didn't have the facility, you learn. Why should I learn? You didn't do it, that's your problem. Why should I do that? You go to a music class, this is flooded with girls. Boys are not there. Because girls can't play, they don't have playgrounds, they have to be safe. So the next door lady teacher, Malika Mami, is a teacher, so I sent the teacher there. Are we growing music? Are we growing music? Because you're suddenly putting a child into somebody else's house. And the child is feeling uncomfortable. And the teacher is teaching Greek and Latin. The child knows only Tamil. What are we doing? Why are we pushing this? So what is happening is, we are unnecessarily creating some kind of... I have seen mothers going to music teachers and saying, Madam, cinema pattu mattum solliye kuduthradinga. Why? Everything is music. Everything is music. Because when I switch on to the television, you have only film songs. You don't have classical music going on. So you need to learn that. My fundamental thought process is that when you can learn English with 26 alphabets, when you can learn Tamil with 216 words, alphabets, why can't you learn music with 7 alphabets? Sari Gama Padani, that's it. It's a brilliant piece of communication. It's a brilliant piece of self-confidence. Yeah, I'm addressing to the parents. Look at music very differently. Don't get obsessed with music. Be passionate with music and put your child to music, because there are a lot of things that the child can learn from music beyond singing. Now look at the parents. If you look at the parents, what happens is they are performance obsessed. I want my child to perform in Airtel Super Singer. Because I have 20 silk saris, I have to display it on television. Where will I go and show my jewelry? Because these days in marriages we can't wear jewelry. Only Airtel Super Singer I can wear. So what is happening is, you are looking at performance in everything. Why should every child have a gold medal? Do you think other children can't survive in life? Do you think every child should perform? Allow your child to be a better listener. If there are 10 children learning music, and if each of the children can appreciate each other's music, your child is growing as a better human being. He doesn't need to be a winner at all. He doesn't need to be a winner always. Today, who's a winner today? Who's a winner today? Is Aditya a winner today, or Uma Shankar is a winner today? Both. Both are winners today. Both are winners today. For his level, he has achieved. He has gone first time on stage. This guy has gone enough number of times on the stage. That's the difference. But he has climbed a mountain. He's climbed a mountain. This guy is walking the road. Which is better? I'm not discounting Aditya. I'm saying today there are so many children like that. He's God sent. This guy is God sent. God has enough amount of brain inventory, he pushed it into it. That is what Abdul Kalam is doing today. Abdul Kalam has gone there to teach gods how to produce children. Private music schools. If you go to private music schools, mostly private music schools are, people take private music schools because they're closer to home. That's a convenience. Right? Now, private music schools, there is a self-prophecy that what I do is the best in life. Need not be. Okay? So, the ambience, the kind of ambience that they go into, the house ambience of yours versus the child's ambience, what it is looking for is not matching. I can't go and learn music in somebody's kitchen and bedroom and hall. I need a place to learn music. One teacher will be cooking food there, one Tata Party will be seeing Muttivali serial, and the child has to learn music. Should I not allow the child to go through a proper learning process? So that's the problem today. So I'm addressing issues in terms of what's going on in the music industry. If you look at this research, out of 120,000 children who go for music classes, over a period of 10 years, not more than 10 stay back in music. 120,000 children paying almost close to 500 rupees fees. Is it helpful to the child? No. Why? Change your methodology. If you're not going to change your teaching methodology, you will find it very difficult. Communication. In music, you need to communicate music. You need to communicate the logic behind music. You can't force something into a child. Our generation versus the current generation is very, very different. In our generation, we were doers. We were asked to do something and we did. Today's generation, it will not. It will say, why should I do it? If you are not intelligent enough to tell the child that this is the reason why you have to do it, he's not going to do that. So there is enough scope to rejig our entire teaching methodology for the children to get into music. So my objective is to get into a democratizing of music learning. Why should music be in the hands of few? Do you think somebody in Tiruchangodu, somebody in Namakkal, somebody in Perur should not be learning music? Why? Children only in Chennai or in Coimbatore or in Madurai should learn? Why? Why are children born in Tiruchangodu singers? No, they also deserve to learn music. So the idea basically is, now if I have to democratize music, where do I need to go? Unless or otherwise I go into the schools, unless or otherwise the school management is going to be kind enough to let us do what we want to do, we cannot reach children. Why should a fisherman's child not learn music? Is it just the bank manager's child or a insurance company owner's child or a textile mill owner child deserves to learn music? No. Every child is born to sing. Every child is born to sing. Why? Which is the most delightful sound for the mother? Is the baby's cry. When the child comes out of the mother's womb, the first cry is called Gandharam. And Gandharam is a perfect sync of Panchamam and Sajamam. It's a semitone. It's a semitone. It's a beautiful semitone. Because when a child cries, the child's cry is the mother's delight. And which is Gandharam. So when I pluck the tambura and the Panchamam and Sajamam mixes and the Gandharam comes to my ears, it's a delight in music. It's a child's cry. So when a child can cry and it can create delight into a mother, a child can sing and create delight to itself. So can we do that? Now, what is the logic behind music? I'm not trying to take the emotional trip. If you look at our entire education system, the education system is completely left brain triggered. On the left brain, you just need memory. You just need to puke what you read. That's what Aditya said. Aditya, I have an idea for you. You said, what do I do with those? Formula. Print a beautiful t-shirt. The t-shirt design will be very good. Recognizing faces, expression, emotions, music. Rohini madam spoke about acting today. What a thought. How many of us did understand what it means? In fact, in one of the conferences, Kamal Hassan said, how do you manage these roles? He said, no, I rent it. I rent these roles. If I have to be sane in life, I have to rent these. Morning I rent it, evening I pack it off and I remain the same Kamal Hassan. It's very difficult. It's very difficult for me. Now, if you look at this is the scene of music, and we are at a very, very low level in music, and there is a scalable thought process. Our vision is basically to give products which suits children, give technology. I'm rushing up. Now, what we are trying to do is to capture the child at the primary level from 2nd standard to 5th standard, because after that, it's very difficult to change the child's mind. And if we are able to catch him and we are able to plateau him in the middle school level, I think you'll have better children in terms of music. Now, of course, these are the processes. Basically, music is about learning, listening, practice, growing and glowing. It's not performance. Performance is a process. Parents, please do not expect all children to perform. As long as they can learn and as long as they can remain better listeners, you have done great justice, because we don't have listeners in our system. We have very, very passive listeners. Now, this is why we want to get into schools, because if I go to a school and if I see 1,000 children, not more than 15 or 20 are music inclined. Now, if I take up 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th standard children, I have a potential to reach out to 30% of the school population, which is huge, So that's what we are trying to see, and our biggest challenge is basically to communicate to the parents and to change the teachers' thought process in terms of teaching, and also to make the schools understand the importance of music. Now, we have created a 4-year curriculum in a structured manner, and we are working it out in such a way to subsidize it to reach out to larger number of people. We are looking at a price of around 2,000 rupees for a child per year, where we give almost 750 rupees worth of music kit free for them to practice at home. So even a mother who does not know music, by seeing the computer, she'll be able to guide the child. She doesn't need to learn music to teach the child. That's what we are trying to make an attempt. Now this is the second thoughts which we have, because it's very difficult for people who learn music to get jobs, because everybody don't perform. So they start their own schools. So here, if I'm able to reach out to schools, I could probably do campus interviews in music colleges to give jobs for people who take up music as a career. So there are almost close to some 20,000 people who come out of music colleges every year. So there's a huge potential of people who are available. And come out with training in the trainer models, bring professionals like Anant Vaidyanathan, bring people like those to train the teachers in terms to tell them how not to teach, rather than how to teach. Now this is our patent. We own a patent in music for creating a musical logarithm of Shruti, Talam and Ragam equally. And that is what we have built, and we plan to launch tablets which is exclusively for music. Now this is how the tablet is going to be. It's going to be branded as MuTab. So it will have all kinds of forms of music lessons. If you see the lessons there in colors, and these are all lessons which are coded in colors, so that it becomes easy for the child in terms of multitasking. Yeah, for them, because it's basically a mathematical logic, and it's a probability. So why can't we push it onto the child? When today, many of us, if I ask any of the seniors to say 8 tables, can you tell 8 tables? Can anybody tell me 8 tables? Madam? You will start with 8 ones are 8, 8 twos are 16. Why can't you say 8, 16, 24, 32, 40? Because it's progress, it's programmed in your mind. That's how we read it. Nursery rhymes we don't forget. Now why will we forget this if I'm going to push it from 2nd standard to 5th standard? Now these are the kind of applications that I've built. Dr. I, we have built one for you for meditation. So you can use it for meditation. Now this is the brand that I'm going to launch, which will be an online model, which is called the Tuning Folks. The Tuning Folk is the one which gives frequency. So we are tuning the child into music. That's what the brand is. And this is how the application is going to be, where children from Tiruchengodu or other places also can learn music online. There will be a recording facility, there will be a playback facility. The teacher can record her lessons and place it onto the computer. You can download those lessons, practice it, send it to the teacher can evaluate it, and you can even do an examination on the laptop. That's what we're trying to work out. And probably we'll even come out with certification, you sitting at home. Now this is how we went about this project. This looked like a management class. This is what we call as mind mapping. And through these kind of researches is what we have arrived at these details. Now this is how we are going to be available in terms of hardware, offline as well as online. Right. So let me sum up. It's not what is poured into the child that counts. It's what is planted in a child. And that's what people like Ravi Shankar and all have done. I take inspiration from you, sir, today. And every child is born to sing. Please trigger their interest. Thank you.